Here's a great little card trick that involves the help of 2 spectators. Now you, sir, I'd like you to take the pack, examine them and shuffle them. Now the spectator will look through the cards to make sure they are normal and then give them a genuine shuffle. Are you happy with that? Now I'm going to get you to choose a card. Now you can either go through the cards as most people do, looking for any card that they quite like, or one that's going to do them well in a game of cards. Or you may be asked by a magician to pick the card from the back without even seeing it. But I want you to do something totally offbeat. Not take out a physical card yourself, but just think of one and tell me what it is and we'll remove it. You get a choice of 52 cards. The Jack of Hearts. Do you want to change your mind? That's the card you want. That's a pretty good high card. Let's go through and see if we can find the Jack of Hearts somewhere in the pack. There it is there, the Jack of Hearts. Now what I want you to do is to examine that card, look on the front, the back, underneath it, the sides, the top, the bottom, the left and the right. Now you did have a choice of any of the cards that you shuffled, but I want you to sign this. So I give you a pen to sign it, but not across the face. We want you to sign it actually not here, but on the back. So I'm going to get you to sign it along the back here. And also, if you can just mark on the back what card it is, the Jack of Hearts. Yeah, your choice. Just scribble your name on there. Now the spectator will sign their name upon the card. And then they'll even write the Jack of Hearts in the corner. There it is there, a marked card. We now turn to you, sir, and ask you to do exactly the same, but you don't get to choose. I get to choose for you. So let's just use this one at the bottom, a pretty rubbish card actually, but I'm choosing it for you. That's your card. Now they will examine the card, both sides. Happy that's okay. Now we're going to get you to sign the back of this also. So not the back of these cards, but this one. And I want you to do exactly the same. Put your name and then just put the initials of the card that you've chosen, which is the 2 of clubs. Well, you didn't choose it. I chose it for you. But if you can just sign your name on the back. So they will sign their name here. And then write down the 2 of clubs like that. We now have 2 cards that have been selected from a pack that you shuffled. The difference being you chose your card, a high value Jack of Hearts. You didn't get to choose, you were given a pretty rubbish card, the 2 of clubs. Now wouldn't it be great if you could swap cards? The problem with that is when a magician's around, that can never happen. You see, despite you signing your card, you still end up with the 2 of clubs and you still get to keep your card, the Jack of Hearts. Here is the tutorial for this great little quick fire transposition card trick. It's always great when people choose a card and they swap places, but this one has that added little kicker where they've signed them as well. So let's just go through the handling. Now what you need is a duplicate card. Okay, so it doesn't matter what card, I'm sure you've got old packs lying around, just get a duplicate card. Okay, and everything else is just regular. It's a regular deck of cards. No setup, no stack, just a regular deck. You put all of this in here, so you add the extra card. Remember, you've already got 1, 2 of clubs or whatever card you've got. Add an extra duplicate in there. No one's going to know that there's 53 cards there instead of 52. So that's it, you're set up. Now you can quite freely give the cards to a spectator. He will look through, he won't see that 1 duplicate card. Look through and then ask him to shuffle. It is a genuine shuffle. Now I know we've got the signed cards already in there, but just follow along with this tutorial and pretend they're not there. So the first thing you're going to do is, once you get the cards back, you need to get the 2 duplicate cards to the top of the deck. Now the way that I do this is I just go through the cards. If you watch the presentation, I just said to them, you can choose any card you like, and all I do is I just cut some cards to the back, and as soon as I get to the first 2 here, I cut it to the back. I've now got one of them on the back here. I then say to them, some magicians will get you to pick cards by looking at the backs without seeing the faces. Now what I'm actually doing is looking for the other 2. There it is there, and that's the one that I pull out. So I pull this out and put it to the back without showing it. You're done at that point, because you've now got the 2 duplicate cards at the back of the pack. You can drop the cards and just say, you're not going to go through the cards, you're just going to name one. Now this really convinces them about how powerful the trick is, because they're having an absolute free choice of any card, and that's what they get. So once they choose a card, now I'm going to use the same card as in the presentation, which is the Jack of Hearts. So we go through looking for the Jack of Hearts, and when you get to that, there it is right near the back, you pull that out and you give that to the spectator. Now what you're going to do is you need to flip over the bottom card. Now because you're giving them the card to examine, you're also going to get the pen out of your pocket and give it to them. You've got plenty of time of just turning it over. You don't need to do any sleight of hand. If you do know a secret hidden move, then do that. But I just find that just as soon as you give them that card, flip that card over. That's it, done. I've done it. I've just flipped it over. It's done. And then when you give them the pen, I hold the pack up so all the faces are towards them. I've got this 2 facing me. I readjust my grip because I'm going to get a break under this card here. Okay, in fact, let me just swap that over. So I'm going to get a break under this card. I then say, I don't want you to sign the face. As they take the lid off, you say, I don't want you to sign the face. You're going to pull this up and cover this face. Get the timing right. Don't flash this too early. Okay, so you just pull this out. Once this is on top, you can turn it over, square everything up. You've got 2 cards as one there. You're going to turn the card over and say, I want you to sign the back. Now, of course, imagine that they haven't signed it, so you're going to get them to sign the back of this card. And you can show them a couple of times that you want to sign this. You give them the card, and they put that down, and they assign that. They believe that to be the Jack of Hearts, but of course, you've swapped it. Okay, the Jack of Hearts is on top of the pack. Then, what I do is I turn to the second spectator. I do a slip shuffle, so I slide the Jack of Hearts off, and then I pick it up again by putting it to the back and shuffle the rest of the pack like this. Let's just explain what's happened there. If you've got a way of doing a double undercut or anything like that, what I needed to do, remember, on the top of the pack we had the 2 of clubs, we also had the hearts, the Jack of Hearts, their chosen card. You're going to slide that card off. You're then going to slide the next card off, but you're going to pick up this and put it to the back. So just return it back to the back of the pack. As you do that, pull this down. This is the 2 of clubs, because what you want to end up with is the duplicate 2 on the bottom and the chosen card, the Jack of Hearts, to the top. Once you've done that, you turn the pack over and say, you're going to get given one of these, and you just casually give them. It looks as though you've shuffled the pack, you've thrown the card to them, and it happens to be a low card. Then all I do is I do exactly the same as I did with this one. As soon as I throw this card to them and ask them to pick it up and examine it, I'm going to turn the bottom card over as we did before. Turn the bottom card over, and I'm going to hold a break. So I've got a break here at the back. You then say, just like your friend here, you're not going to sign the face, but the back. Now, as you put this on like this, you're going to do a square up and then put these here, and you can turn the pack over and put it on top. You're holding two cards here. Okay. Square them up, give them the card, they sign their name and the card, and the trick's done. You can put the rest of the cards down. This is the situation. They swap over, and lo and behold, they return back to their original positions. And that is the handling.